A holiday weekend during a pandemic. What you need to know to stay safe and healthy when you celebrate the 4th. Plus, new changes to how you can eat at Madison restaurants that start today. A different take on dining out.
And with the heat and the humidity being a big deal this weekend, we're talking ways you can stay cool.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Chris Stanford. Wisconsin's health officials have some advice for people this holiday weekend. Stay home. According to a news release from DHS, nearly 20% of total coronavirus cases in Wisconsin were identified in just the last 2 weeks. Half of all positive cases came in the last 5 weeks. And for that reason, they're advising you to celebrate Independence Day independently. So if you decide to go celebrate with others or go out this weekend, here's what you need to know. Per new regulations that went into effect yesterday here in Dane County, all indoor gatherings are limited to 10 people. If you're outside, it's 25. Social distancing should still be maintained. Public outdoor spaces like parks, playgrounds, splash pads, tennis and basketball courts are all open, but you have to stay at least 6 feet away from others. Water parks and swimming pools also open, but limited to 50% capacity. Madison's public beaches will also be open this weekend. Like other outdoor spaces, social distancing is required. The city says swim ropes will be in place, but no lifeguards will be on duty because of limited staffing. Bathrooms will be closed. Public health officials say that if you feel sick, please stay at home. Most communities in our area have canceled their 4th of July fireworks because of the pandemic, but there are still a few being held this weekend with social distancing guidelines in place. There are 3 this evening. Those will be in Cottage Grove, Watertown, and Mauston. Tomorrow, there will be 8 displays across southern Wisconsin. You can head out to Baraboo, Green Lake, Mineral Point, Monroe, Platteville, Shullsburg, Whitewater, and the Dells. A few other communities will have their displays later on in the summer. You can find a full list of cities and times up at our website right now, channel3000.com. If you're unable to make it out to any of those displays, don't plan on having your own fireworks show in Madison. Legal fireworks within the city include sparklers, snakes, snap caps, and party poppers. If you're caught with illegal fireworks, you could face a fine of up to $1,000, even for a first offense. Madison Police and Fire are working to stop the trend of illegal fireworks. According to the National Fire Protection Association, fireworks started an estimated 19,500 fires in 2018. These fires caused 5 deaths and $105 million in direct property damage. The NFPA also says in 2018, U.S. emergency rooms treated an estimated 9,100 people for fireworks-related injuries. 28% of those injuries were to hands or fingers, 24% to legs, 19% were eye injuries. Children younger than 15 years of age accounted for more than 1/3 of those ER visits. So if you're setting off fireworks this weekend, be safe, cautious, and obey the laws. 6:02 right now, checking in with meteorologist Chris Reese. And any rain going to damper those fireworks displays this weekend?
No rain is expected, at least for Saturday anyway. There could be a couple of showers that pop up this afternoon and Sunday afternoon. Okay. Saturday afternoon does look primarily dry for us. That means it's also going to be very steamy out there, especially if there's no rain for the relief. So one of the things I want to focus on is just knowing the difference between heat exhaustion and a heat stroke. And one of the things to keep in mind, you know, in both situations, you may feel faint or dizzy, but you're a lot more likely to lose consciousness when it comes to a heat stroke. Also, when it comes to heat stroke, you're going to have the hot, dry skin. In the meantime, if it's heat exhaustion, you're going to have that cool, pale, and clammy skin. So I'll post this on social media as we go throughout the morning, but these are the things that you're going to want to make sure that you are aware of and being mindful of, not just through the weekend, but perhaps through the month. We're going into an extended period of seeing heat around here. This is the outlook for at least the next 6 to 10 days, and the upper Midwest is one of those areas in the greatest probability of being above normal with temperatures. It's the whole country underneath this big dome of heat. We're going to be hot, hazy, and humid. It does not matter where you are. Now, when it comes to relief, in terms of seeing a chance for a thunderstorm, well, there is a small chance as we go through later on this afternoon and evening. Your Saturday itself, that's one that's going to be primarily dry, but then later on Sunday into Monday, you also have another small chance to see some showers of thunderstorms. None of those are over us right now. We are dry throughout all of Wisconsin at the moment. Temperatures are comfortable too. We're at 65 right now, and things will continue to warm up. 66 in James Mill. Monroe is at 71. Here are those dew points right now, already into the 60s, and they're going to be increasing as we go throughout the day, along with temperatures. Temperatures will top out right around 90. A few isolated storms are possible as those push towards the south and west. We're cooling down into the 60s overnight tonight. Then we're back into the 80s tomorrow before cooling down again Sunday night. So get used to these temperatures, folks. Temperatures will be close to 90 as we go through much of next week. And then we have the better chances to see those showers and thunderstorms bring us some relief. That'll come by Tuesday and linger through Friday.
It's just this pattern we can't seem to shake right now. It's hot and humid, and we need something major to break us out of it, right?
So I was going to say, you know, I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. In the atmosphere, we call this a blocking pattern. And so everything is blocked, and this ridge of heat is stuck on top of us. So you need a big storm system to come through and break that up. The problem is when you're in a blocking pattern like this, it's hard to get a big storm system to come through.
Okay, well. So we'll just
see.
Kind of stuck.
Yeah, I looked at one of the models that goes out the next 16 days, and this pattern was still in place. So we'll see what we can do.
All right, thanks, Chris. So Dane County restaurants are under new restrictions, and that's why a new Madison program comes at the perfect time. Christina Laurie is live downtown this morning to explain this new concept. Good morning, Christina.
Hi, Chris. Just in time for the holiday weekend, Madison diners will have more options than ever before to eat outside. The City of Madison's new Streetery program debuts at 6:45 tonight. The concept, pretty much what it sounds like. Many local streets will be completely shut down to cars and open to eaters. Megan Blake Horse from the City of Madison, you helped develop this concept. What was the impetus behind this?
Really helping restaurants survive. You know, it's really important that we know that outdoor dining is more comfortable, and businesses needed to add more revenue streams than just curbside pickup and delivery. So very important.
This couldn't have started at a better time, considering we kind of had to walk back a phase earlier this week, and restaurants can no longer serve inside. So what do you expect numbers to be like this weekend? How many people are you expecting to come out?
Well, we're really not sure. You know, people do camping, they do all sorts of things over the summer, but we're really just hoping that restaurants are able to provide an opportunity for people to be more comfortable and feel more safe when they're out in the environment.
What has been the biggest challenge logistically getting a brand new program up and running? Because I know this is a weird time for all of us, especially business owners and even the City of Madison.
Fitting the needs of what the business owners needed to get people out and following public health requirements. And then getting the word out, you know, helping people understand that this is an opportunity citywide, not just downtown. And really, we've been able to get restaurants up and going, and now State Street will be closed for Friday night, Saturdays, and Sundays starting tonight.
And we're going to actually head down to State Street in the next half hour to check that out, because there's a lot of businesses there, and this program will also help them, not just the restaurants, but the actual small businesses and shoppers who like to frequent them. So stick with us, and we'll talk to Megan again coming up just after 6:30. Chris?
All right, Christina Laurie, thanks. You know, we know restaurants are in a really tough spot right now. They're trying to stay alive while the state is trying to encourage people to stay in. So I'm interested to see how that program works starting tonight. Well, throughout the course of the pandemic, more than 2,000 cases of the coronavirus have been confirmed here in Dane County, and almost 1,000 of those cases are still active. There were 530 new cases confirmed yesterday, as the state now moves towards a total of 30,000. As cases rise, public health says it will not commit to police requiring masks in public, partially due to the, quote, undue burden it would place on people of color. In a statement, Public Health Madison and Dane County writes in part, "We strongly encourage people to wear masks if they're able. While we know masks work to help reduce the spread of the virus, some people may fear racial profiling or discrimination based on wearing or not wearing a face covering." Well, some kids in La Crosse are trying to do their part to make a difference. Alistair Davis, his sister Henrietta, and their mom, they set up what they call Market on Madison Street. They sell homemade items, including masks, wreaths, and painted rocks with encouraging messages. And each week, the profits go to different causes. The causes have included the local Humane Society and Black Lives Matter.
I just like donating. And, like, this is a rough time, like coronavirus. Yeah.
You said it, kid. So Alistair there says that since they opened the market, they've raised more than $600. Keep it up. Well, the WEDC is sharing their latest on unemployment across the state when they say they'll see some signs of recovery. And Chris Reese is tracking an alert day for the 4th of July weekend. You'll want to check out that forecast to see if there's any relief on the way. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings.
You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. At the Magic Wash. At the Magic Wash. Whoa.
The open road is open again. And wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels is there. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. I came across Plexiderm and I was so excited. We have a model. All he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. Tightens the skin and smooths it out. Gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
You know, I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles. I have the puffiness. I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
Holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
This 4th of July is the best time to get Plexiderm for $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Now open in Fitchburg.
We're back. Time right now is 6:13. Madison police say a woman has turned herself in for the fatal shooting of a 25-year-old man on the north side yesterday afternoon. Police say 22-year-old Heaven Grant approached detectives at the scene of the shooting on East Bluff. She told officers she'd recently broken up with the victim, and Grant reportedly pulled into a parking lot, exchanged words with the victim, and later shot him as he tried getting into her car. The victim ended up back in the car he was traveling in with at least one other person. The driver stopped on North Sherman Avenue after seeing firefighters in the area and went to ask them for help. 5 construction workers were taken to the hospital from carbon monoxide poisoning after an incident at a daycare center in Mount Horeb yesterday. The fire chief says the leak at Heart and Hands Child Care Center happened from tools construction workers were using. About 7 staff members and 54 kids were inside at the time. Everyone was evacuated and tested. 3 kids showed elevated levels of carbon monoxide. They were treated at the scene and then released.
We're very lucky that one of the workers did have symptoms early, so that they did evacuate the children immediately and get them outside before a great number were affected.
As of yesterday, one of the construction workers hospitalized was in critical condition. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is expecting recovery in the state and the country to take 2 years. The agency briefed lawmakers on the economic outlook this week, which the legislature requested when it passed coronavirus relief. The report highlights how the state has been impacted and what can be done to help it recover fastest. The report estimates it'll take at least 2 years to get employment down, back below 5% unemployment down. Certain sectors like the service industry aren't expected to get all jobs back. The agency recommends focusing on getting broadband for the whole state to help with the return to school and getting people back to work. First and foremost, though, the WEDC secretary said the state needs to control the spread of the virus. A new global study says it's found strong evidence that a new mutated form of coronavirus has spread from Europe to the U.S. This new mutation makes the virus more likely to infect people, but does not seem to have any effect on how sick people will get. One of the doctors who worked on the study says that this is now the dominant form of the virus that is infecting people. It's believed that this form of the virus is between 3 and 9 times more infectious. Another new study says that the controversial drug hydroxychloroquine did actually help patients. A team at Henry Ford Health in Michigan found that from more than 2,500 cases, those given the drug were less likely to die. They found that 26% of those not given the drug died, compared to 13% of deaths from those who did take it. That's from the 18% of patients who did die from the virus while hospitalized. Researchers say this find is surprising because several other studies claimed to find no benefits in taking hydroxychloroquine. The FDA has withdrawn its emergency use authorization for the drug. 6:16 right now. Chris Reese tracking a hot and humid holiday weekend.
Yeah, and I want to start with 3 things that you can do to beat the heat as we go through the weekend. One of those things is just wearing light-colored and loose-fitting clothing. And I'm preaching at myself at this one because I'm a guy who likes to wear sweaters no matter what the weather is. But that's something that you can definitely do when it's this hot outside here. Also, avoid alcohol and caffeine if you can help it. Water is always what's best. If you are going to be drinking alcohol and caffeine, because it is a holiday weekend, try to get in water every other drink while you're out there. The other thing I want to remind you is check on the pets because they don't sweat. They don't have a mechanism to cool them down like we as humans do. And also check the back seat. Almost every summer we hear the stories of children being left in the back seat, and we're going into this pattern where it's going to be hot for a very long time. So keep that in mind. Sunshine outside right now. We're at 65 here in Madison, 71 for our friends down in Monroe. They're one of the warmer spots here in south central Wisconsin. The Dells are coming in at 64. Here are the dew points now. They are into the 60s, and they will eventually flirt with the low 70s as we move in later on this afternoon. That will cause the heat index to certainly increase. We're talking heat indices that'll be once again into the mid and upper 90s as we go throughout the day. So far, no showers or thunderstorms. There is a chance to see a shower or thunderstorm later on this afternoon, but Chris, the reality is, as we continue to look ahead, temperatures will be at 85 by the time we get towards lunch. We'll top out right around 90.
Boy, it is steamy. Thanks, Chris. All right, it is 6:17 right now. Today, President Trump will join thousands of people attending a fireworks show at Mount Rushmore to celebrate the 4th. The South Dakota governor says it will be a mask-optional event, and, quote, "We will not be social distancing." This comes as the chair of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe is calling for the removal of Mount Rushmore, the national memorial, arguing that it's carved in an area that is considered sacred land to natives. The monument is carved into the Black Hills. Back in 1868, the U.S. recognized Black Hills as part of the Great Sioux Reservation. Home Depot is changing its rope sales practices after nooses were found hanging in one of its North Carolina stores. Home Depot released a statement saying it's appalled by the incident. It's the latest in the series of incidents at its stores in recent years. The company has now decided to sell shorter, pre-cut lengths of rope instead of rope wrapped on large spools. FedEx is joining the call for the NFL and the owners of the Washington Redskins to change the team's name. FedEx is a key sponsor of the team and owns naming rights to the stadium, FedEx Field, just outside of D.C. The organization changed the mascot. The organization is called Change the Mascot, and they are leading the fight to change the team's name and mascot, saying that it's racist. Team leaders have not commented on the name change request. Well, the NFL is reportedly planning to play a song known as the Black National Anthem before every Week 1 game this season. The song titled Lift Every Voice and Sing will be performed and played before the season kicks off, according to reports from ESPN. The traditional national anthem will follow. Sources in the league say that the NFL is working with players to help recognize systemic racism and are discussing other ways to honor and memorialize its victims. Walmart is converting 160 of its store parking lots in the U.S. into drive-in movie theaters. With many traditional movie theaters remaining closed right now across the country, drive-ins are getting more popular, right? So Walmart's drive-in is going to run from August through October, and they will offer carside food and drink service. Locations and a list of films have yet to be announced. Hamilton is now streaming on Disney+. The movie is a Broadway performance filmed back in 2016 and features Lin-Manuel Miranda and the original cast. The action was shot from 6 different camera positions to make the play seem more cinematic. The film combines the performances taped in front of the audience with separate shots that are close up and camera angles that put the viewer on stage, giving them literally the best seat in the house. Still ahead for us on this Friday morning, a safe way that you can enjoy the 4th of July fireworks shows from the comfort of your own couch. And a committee is now looking at how to add body cameras to Madison Police. What their next steps are coming up in our next half hour.
News 3 Now closed captioning is sponsored by Wells Asphalt Paving.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
against all enemies. That I will commit
to ensuring they are
not forgotten.
And I will enable veterans
to live the same life of opportunity
they have provided me. So help me God.
Help get you back to it. And here's how with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Expecting you. And I brought you a gift so you can fight properly. Red Bull.
Oh, how nice
of you.
But also
rather
stupid.
Mine.
Mine.
No, mine.
No, mine.
Mine. Mine. Red Bull gives you wings.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Let's see who's sharing their morning with us. Oh, Kenton Fowler sent us a great one. Nice reflection there off the lake. Love the colors.
Yeah, Kenton Fowler is incredible with his camera shots.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
What are you up to in the morning? Snap a pic, post it on our social media pages. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and yours might wind up on the air like Kenton's did. So tonight, CBS is honoring a comedy legend who passed away this week. Carl Reiner created and co-starred in the Dick Van Dyke Show, legendary. He died Monday at the age of 89. And to honor him, CBS will air a special tribute to the comedy legend. Colorized, hour-long special featuring 2 classic episodes that starts tonight at 7 here on CBS. And if you're looking for 4th of July entertainment in the comfort of your own home, PBS is offering some live fireworks from the nation's capital. The show will also feature more than a dozen musical performances, including Broadway star Brian Stokes Mitchell and opera legend Renee Fleming. Vanessa Williams and John Stamos will host, but not from the usual spot on the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol. I think people, they just want something. Just give me something this weekend, you know, with all of these events canceled and everything. It's just different, and we just need something.
Something's better than nothing.
Agreed.
Yeah, so we'll watch that closely. Maybe there's some outdoor entertainment called, the kids being funny in the backyard, whatever's going on. It will be hot, though, if you're going to be stepping out. That's why we have the alert day for the forecast on Saturday and Sunday. Keep that in mind with the heat indices. It'll be up close to 100 at times. This is just through today, but notice that heat index goes up to about 95 or so. Here's the actual air temperature, though. We'll see those highs around 90. A few showers of thunderstorms will pop up, and then we'll gradually cool back down into the 60s overnight tonight. Now, as far as any relief in the way of thunderstorms, it's actually possible to see just a general garden variety thunderstorm for a folk or two later on this afternoon and evening. Saturday, any storms would be towards the north. Sunday, late, we're talking the nighttime hours, it's possible to see a few pop-up storms then as well, but most of the weekend is really dry.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Chris. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. Home is where heads come to rest. A place to let go, and a place to find again. At Stanley Steamer, we love home, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
Relax, unwind, remain safe and secure in a new bath, shower, or walk-in tub from Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 ranked remodeler. Now during our summer spectacular sale, get a new bath or shower for only $49.95. Ask about great financing and call during this program for a free $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate. And be sure to ask about virtual online estimates.
Talk about fireworks. Check out these offers at Denver Mattress. Sleep cool all night long and save up to $500 on the superior cooling comfort of a Tempur-Breeze. Or get $100 off our Athlete's Choice Bed-in-a-Box lineup. Check out the Queen Size Summit Firm. Only $189.99. Plus 7 years no interest financing and free shipping right to your doorstep. And to celebrate Casper's arrival at Denver Mattress, score special savings on all Casper mattresses and accessories. Better move fast. These deals will be gone before you know it.
Two opportunities to play. Two opportunities. Two draws.
2 daily draws
Each day.
from the Wisconsin Lottery. With one at midday.
That's at 1:30.
And another in the evening.
That's at 9.
For pick 3, pick 4, and all or nothing.
More chances to play each day. More chances to play each day.
Garver. Garver.
Gather. Ing. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Garvering.
A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people
people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go Garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
A 4th of July unlike any other. We'll tell you what's canceled, what's not, and what else you can do with your kids this weekend.
We've been talking the heat all week long, but we could also be seeing a few thunderstorms out there. We'll tell you when.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Stanford. Leah and Josh are starting their long holiday weekends. As you head into yours, Wisconsin's health officials have some advice for you. Stay home. According to the DHS, nearly 20%, 1 in 5 of all coronavirus cases in the state have been identified over the past 2 weeks. Half of all positive cases came in the last 5 weeks. The percentage of positive cases, as you see on your screen, is staying relatively consistent, hovering just above 4% for most of the week. That trend, though, continues upward, though. And if this trend does continue, we can expect 30,000 total confirmed cases at some point today. Half of Dane County's 2,000 confirmed cases are still active. Restaurants in Madison are worried that the Wisconsin DHS will publicly release data showing which businesses have confirmed cases of COVID. The Cap Times reports manufacturing, restaurant, and grocers associations are emailing members and crafting emails to send to the department. The fear is that it would negatively impact small businesses who have already been struggling during the pandemic. The DHS has received hundreds of records requests regarding businesses in COVID-19, but as of now, it doesn't have any plans to publicly list impacted businesses. Some area restaurants are taking the matter into their own hands. After 2 Great Dane employees tested positive, the business decided to post a detailed explanation of when those employees were at work. It's also detailing its process of closing dining rooms until other employees can get tested. Madison diners will have more options than ever before to eat outside this holiday weekend. The city is getting ready to debut its Streetery concept tonight. Christina Laurie is downtown to explain why the new program couldn't have come at a better time. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Chris. It might feel like Dane County's moved back a phase with businesses only allowed to offer very limited in-person service, but the city of Madison is still moving forward with its plan to expand outdoor dining options, including here along State Street. Megan Blake-Horst rejoins us this morning. You work for the city of Madison. You helped develop this concept. This is going to be great for State Street. What's happening here tonight?
Well, starting at 6:45, we're going to be closing State Street to all vehicular traffic. That includes buses, cabs, pickups, and it will be open to a full pedestrian mall.
And a lot of people, they think State Street, you think pedestrian mall, but as we're seeing this morning, buses driving behind us, this is a busy street for buses, so it'll even be closed for them.
Yeah, buses are going to be off the street from 6:45 tonight until 5:15 for the first run on Monday morning.
Wow, so all weekend long.
All weekend.
This is not just going to help restaurants here, though. It's also going to help small businesses. Why was that important to you?
Well, it's really important. Our retailers are struggling as much as our restaurants are, and you know, the rest of the economy, quite frankly, everyone's struggling and trying to get things together. And so retailers have an opportunity to bring their items out on the street and have some outdoor sales as well, so they can limit and control their indoor environment.
It's almost like Maxwell Street Days, but every weekend. What have you heard from business owners? What has the response been like?
You know, we're very busy processing applications for all sorts of licenses and trying to get people set up, and it's been very well received. People are really looking forward to having people outside and engaged downtown and across the city.
That's such great news. All of us want it, really.
Yeah.
Megan, thank you for talking to us this morning. And even more good news is that if you can't make it out here this weekend, this program will continue every weekend now through August 23rd. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chris, so there's no excuse for you not to bring your family out at some point this summer. We want to introduce you to everything that Madison has to offer.
Oh, yeah, there's so much to take in down there. And it's an interesting new way to get people out. We know that outside is safer than inside right now, so that's good news. Christina Laurie, live downtown. Thanks. So with many fireworks shows canceled because of the pandemic, some people will try to take the show into their own hands and into their own backyards. If you do that, UW Health wants to remind you that alcohol and fireworks do not mix. Emergency workers at the hospital are urging you to be safe if you plan on handling fireworks. You should wear protective coverings like gloves or goggles and never hold those fireworks in your hand to light them. If a firework doesn't light the first time, don't try to light it again. Be sure to have a large water source nearby as well. There are legal and illegal ways to play with fireworks this weekend. The city of Madison, town of Blooming Grove, and village of Shorewood Hills. Here's what's legal. Sparklers, snakes, snap caps, party poppers, those are all fair game. But beyond that, the Department of Justice says the rule of thumb is if it explodes or it leaves the ground, you'll need a permit. If you don't have one, it's illegal. Well, the Cottage Grove Fire Department's hosting socially distanced fireworks tonight. They'll be launching fireworks from the construction site behind the Glacial Drumlin School at 9:30. That's right off of Bus and Gaston Roads. They'll start launching test shells every 15 minutes starting at 8:30 so you can figure out if you can see the show from your house. If you can't, you need to relocate. They ask that you park where it's legal and practice social distancing. There are several other fireworks shows still happening in our area tomorrow. The events will happen in Baraboo, Green Lake, Mineral Point, Platteville, and several other locations. Organizers are asking you to follow social distancing guidelines if you do go. We have a full list of times and locations for all 4th of July fireworks shows up right now at channel3000.com. Now, even though we're under tighter social gathering restrictions in Dane County, you'll still be able to go to the beach. Madison Public Beaches will be open for the weekend. Similar to parks and outdoor spaces, they'll be requiring people to follow social distancing guidelines. The beach is allowed to open when swim ropes are in place and the beach is cleaned by staff and the water quality is acceptable under Public Health Madison and Dane County standards. Health officials ask that if you do go, only go with people from your household and try to avoid touching anything. And because of staffing limitations, there will not be any lifeguards, and those restrooms will also be closed. Splash pads and pools are allowed to stay open. If you head there with your family, you'll want to make sure your kids follow social distancing best they can. Parks and playgrounds are open too, but another thing to keep in mind, those water fountains are going to be shut off. So with this weekend's hot and humid weather, bring your own water, and that's one of the big risks. And the reason why, Chris Reese, you put alert days into the forecast for Saturday and Sunday is because all of the people who are going to be tempted to go out and about.
Yeah, that's indeed the case. You know, it's a holiday weekend. People want to be outside. People want to have their caffeinated drinks. People want to grab themselves a spotted cow. But the reality is you want to make sure you're drinking water. Those things make you a lot more susceptible to things like heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And I want to stress that it's important to know the difference between the two, because one is treatable right there, you know, and it's heat exhaustion. You can have a drink of water and get to an air-conditioned room, but when you're in heat stroke, this is an emergency, and you want to make sure that you call 911. So know these differences, of course. I'm going to be posting this on social media, so don't feel like you have to read it all right now. Follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, go to channel3000.com. We'll make sure that we have that site up. But 3 ways you can be sure to beat the heat. One is just light-colored and loose-fitting clothing. That's going to be a big one for a lot of folks. Avoid the alcohol and caffeine. Water is best. It is a holiday, so my advice, every other drink, make sure that it's water. Also, check on the pets and check the back seat. It seems like every summer we hear these stories of children being left in the back seat. Once the outside temperature reaches 90 degrees, which we're expecting to be at as we go through the weekend, here's what happens inside the car. After 10 minutes, temperatures are already over 100 degrees inside the car, and within an hour, you're at 133 degrees inside the car, and that's not even factoring in the humidity that builds up inside the car. But take this knowledge, hold on to that as we go through the month of July. We're looking at above normal temperatures for an extended time as the entire country deals with this hot, hazy, and very humid air mass out there. Thunderstorms, they have the opportunity to bring some relief. It's possible that we might see a storm or two later on this afternoon and evening. Most of your Saturday is going to be dry. Then on Sunday, we could see a chance of thunderstorms mainly late. Now, we're dry out there this morning. So far, all is good throughout south central Wisconsin. Things are beautiful. Temperatures are into the mid-60s. Let's show you how things are going to heat up. This is the heat index going through the afternoon, where we'll see those heat indices into the upper 90s, closer to 100. Actual air temperatures will top out right around 90. Here's that chance, by the way, for an isolated shower or thunderstorm as things continue to push on towards the south and east overnight. We'll cool down into the mid-60s. Then tomorrow, we're heating up to right around around 90 to 91 once again headed into the afternoon. And folks, those above normal temperatures that are going to be close to 90, they are sticking around for us. Look at this, 90s as we go through the weekend. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s, close to 90 in that extended forecast. But as we get closer to next week, we are going to see at least some better chances for some showers or thunderstorms. Tuesday through Friday, we have those better chances for the showers and thunderstorms. But with the humidity, and even though temperatures are around 89, it will at least feel like those temperatures are well into the 90s. So, like I said, all the advice I just gave, I feel like it was a lot. Hold on to that as we go through the rest of the summer.
Good information, and by the time Tuesday comes around, I have a feeling we're going to want a little rain for some relief.
Absolutely, we will.
Thanks, Chris. So, Madison police are asking for your help this morning, picking their next police chief. The pandemic has paused plans for a series of public town hall meetings meant to get information from the public to be used during the hiring process. So now they're coming up with some new ways to hear from you. One is a Zoom call. It's going to happen during the regular PFC meeting on Monday. There will also be a special meeting later this month on July 22nd. There's also an online survey you can fill out that's up right now at cityofmadison.com. Just search Police and Fire Commission. A committee looking into how to implement body cameras to Madison Police is taking their first steps toward submitting recommendations. In its inaugural meeting, the Body-Worn Camera Feasibility Review Committee talked about keeping emotions out of their work and trying to block out the chaos happening everywhere. The committee will follow the work of a 4-year study about the MPD's policies, practices, and procedures, which was sparked by the officer-involved shooting death of Tony Robinson in 2015. The committee is required to submit their recommendations by January. A Wisconsin police officer on administrative leave this morning after shooting and killing a black man. Sheboygan's police chief says an officer shot and killed a man after he charged at their officer while holding 2 knives yesterday morning. The officer reportedly told the man to stop and tried to use a taser first, but the victim did not respond. So that victim has not yet been named, but a woman says that the victim is her 32-year-old cousin. She says he was on medication for his mental health issues, and then the department knew about it. She says that the officers have been dealing with him for more than a decade. New this morning, business owners in Manitowoc are facing backlash because of this photo. It's a man holding a noose with a couple other men next to him. So the caption says, "It's really a garage door pull," seemingly referencing the headlines surrounding NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace. Brendan Schieffer, one of the men in the photo, says he didn't know about the news when the picture was taken, and he says he hasn't been in contact with the other guys in the photo since then either. Schieffer now plans to meet with local Black Lives Matter activists and have a mural painted on his business. A lot of people are asking what they can do in the fight against racism and racial injustice. One organization is working to bring white people into that fight. Showing Up for Racial Justice is a multiracial activist organization committed to anti-racism. It's predominantly led by white people who are having hard conversations with other white people about race and injustice. In addition to political activism, they host monthly dialogues. That organization has been around for a while, too, a decade. They have 125 chapters worldwide, 4 of which are right here in Wisconsin. We're waking up to some humid conditions this morning. I felt it on my way in, and it's only going to get hotter, folks. And Chris Reese is tracking a pair of alert days for your 4th of July weekend as well. And if you got the travel bug, there's an airport that thinks they may have a way to give you the worldly experience without ever actually leaving. We'll explain coming up after the break.
I do all my shoe shopping at Rogan's because I know that I find what I'm looking for and save. You can count on great service, a huge selection, the best name brands, and the second pair is half price. And one more thing, a choice in how you save. I can get my second pair half price now, or just save my receipt, come back anytime, and get my next pair for half price. Rogan's makes saving easy.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Baca Enterprises is truly humbled and thankful to all of our employees, residents, families, and vendors for their patience and cooperation.
Our employees have gone above and beyond with sanitation efforts, altering their daily routines, all while spreading joy and happiness throughout our communities.
Looking to the future, Baca Enterprises will be here for you.
To provide a sense of security and to provide comfort by keeping you safe and healthy.
Baca Enterprises is helping you live life with confidence. Visit our website to schedule your tour today.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
Only Steinhoffel sells more Tempur-Pedic than anyone else. And right now, get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash with any Tempur-Pedic. We are Wisconsin's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer.
At the Brothers Maine, we're on a mission to deliver more brands, more selection, and more savings on more appliances. See for yourself at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Wisconsin is getting back to business.
What's your plan?
Before you say,
sorry, we just can't do that.
Before you say, we're not ready.
Before you say, we don't have capacity.
Put us in your
into our plan.
Let us help you get back to business.
Are you ready?
whether it's a labor shortage,
it's a mandated closure,
we're here.
We've been here.
We'll be here.
From assembly
to packaging and everything in between.
Let's get to work, Wisconsin.
On the next Live at 4, our news hounds Lola and Louie have the best animal stories of the week.
And our Michael Bruno goes behind the screens as a Broadway musical plays tribute to baseball and to Broadway as well.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
We're back 6:45, so this 4th of July is going to be unlike any we've ever experienced. And as we've been reporting, you'll need to be careful if you plan on taking fireworks into your own hands.
And if you don't want to take it from us, take it from these guys in New York. A 36-year-old man burned his Brooklyn home to the ground. This is as he shot off illegal fireworks from his driveway with his friends. Damian Ben set them off last Friday night, but the video was just now released. One of the fireworks landed inside of his home through an open window, starting the fire.
So as that house burns, they set off more fireworks. One of them lights a cigarette, not knowing what's going on. They end up noticing that the house is on fire 10 minutes after that firework went into the house. That guy is now facing arson charges. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Wait till you see some of the images of the house after. Look at this thing. It's just,
wow.
It's just burnt to a crisp, just charred. That's how not to do it, folks. So near this half hour, there's an airport in Taiwan that thinks they figured out the solution for those of us who have the travel bug but can't go anywhere because of the pandemic.
All right.
So Taipei's downtown airport is offering travelers the chance to take a fake itinerary, check in, go through passport control and security, and even board a plane, but never take off. 7,000 people applied to take part. With the winners chosen at random. The airport is using the event to show off renovations it's done while passengers have been quarantined.
You know, my favorite part of the airport experience is none of this.
I was going to say, you get the worst parts of traveling without any of the benefits.
I like the takeoff and the landing, you know? So I was like, but everything else, I was like, I could do without if I could just get on the plane, take off, and land.
So I don't get why people would line up to experience the worst parts of traveling.
Oh, my goodness.
And the riskiest right now, without any of the benefits of actually going anywhere nice.
Exactly. I will admit, I do enjoy the safety demonstrations. Me and my youth group kids have practically memorized the flight attendant safety demonstrations. So, yeah, we know. If you're seated in the next row, folks, make sure you're able to help out. All right. Well, here's 3 things you can do to beat the heat as we go through this weekend. Of course, temperatures are going to be in the 90s. The heat index is going to be close to 100. A light-colored and loose-fitting clothing, that's going to be one of the best things you can do. Also, drink plenty of water. And don't forget to check on the pets and the back seat. Now, waking up this morning, there's plenty of sunshine. We're in the mid-60s as well. Actual air temperatures remain into the mid and upper 60s. We're already seeing those dew points start to creep up as well. Some low 70s, by the way, showing up in Monroe. The dew point is 70 as you work your way over towards Platteville. That's going to help drive that heat index into the mid and upper 90s for this afternoon. There may be a shower or thunderstorm that pops up to help cool things off. That would be very welcomed. And I can tell you that much.
No storms or showers expected for like tomorrow night when most of the fireworks shows
tomorrow night looks completely dry at this point, so which is rare because typically it seems like every 4th of July I've been a part of, there's a big thunderstorm, but this time we look good.
We're in the clear. Thanks, Chris. Coming up in the morning sprint, if fireworks aren't your way to celebrate the 4th of July, we'll tell you some other options you have starting tonight. But first, it's July 3rd, so we want to say happy birthday to some of these kiddos. Charlie, Gavin, Kaylin, and all the kids turning 3 today. What is it, the golden birthdays for a lot of them since it's the 3rd, right? July 3rd?
July 3rd on the 1st.
Turning 3, you're watching Channel 3. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
When managing diabetes, you can't always stop for a finger stick. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you don't have to. With a painless 1-second scan, you can check your glucose with a smartphone or reader, so you can stay in the moment, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Ask your doctor for a prescription for the Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Aloha, I'm Gary Canolti, inviting News 3 Now viewers to join me on a fabulous tour to the Hawaiian Islands, October 14th to the 23rd. Enjoy the wonderful attractions and tropical scenery on Oahu, Kauai, and Maui. We'll pay our respects at Pearl Harbor, view the majestic landscapes of Waimea Canyon, and discover unique sea life at the Maui Ocean Center. Our vacation includes all airfare, resort hotels, and more. For your free brochure, call Holiday Vacations at 1-800-826-2266.
There's time for adventure, there's people to treasure, and moments that no one can hold. There's so much to see when you're wandering free on this little blue world we call home. We call home, the only one we've ever known.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer, finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
You may feel powerless loving someone with an addiction, but what can you do? Love them, create boundaries, and take care of yourself. Then believe in your loved one. Remind them of who they are. Be patient with the baby steps and forgive them if they take a step backward. Visit UnitedMadison.com/addiction for local resources. Brought to you by 5 Door Recovery, other supporters, and by United Madison.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
6:53, time for the morning sprint, and we start with a warning from the Wisconsin Department of Health ahead of the 4th of July weekend. They're asking you to stay home. Nearly 20% of all coronavirus cases, 1 in 5, have been identified over the past 2 weeks. Half of all positive cases came in the last 5 weeks. The percent of positive cases on your screen right now still on an upward trend, hovering just above 4% for most of the week. So if this trend continues, we could hit 30,000 confirmed cases total here in Wisconsin at some point today. Half of Dane County's 2,000 confirmed cases, by the way, are still active. Rock County will be staying in phase 2 of its reopening plan for the 4th of July weekend after not meeting the threshold to move into phase 3. Health officials say the county is seeing an increasing number of young people who are getting the virus, similar to what we're seeing in Dane County. There are legal and illegal ways to play with fireworks this weekend. In the city of Madison, town of Blooming Grove, and village of Shorewood Hills, sparklers, snakes, snaps, caps, all those things, the party poppers, the light stuff, those are all fair game. But beyond that, the Department of Justice says a rule of thumb is if it explodes or leaves the ground, you'll need a permit. If you don't have one, it's illegal. The Cottage Grove Fire Department's hosting some socially distanced fireworks tonight. They'll be launching fireworks from the construction site behind the Glacial Drummond School at 9:30. They'll start launching test shells every 15 minutes starting at 8:30. So you can figure out if you can see the fireworks from your house. If you can't and you need to drive closer, make sure to park somewhere that's legal and practice social distancing. If fireworks aren't your thing, you could head to the Garver Feed Mill for live music tonight. It's a free thing going on. They'll be hosting a group called Back to Back. So they're going to play some acoustic covers from 4 to 6 o'clock this evening. They encourage you to make some reservations to make sure you get in because seating is limited. If you're looking for something to do on the 4th, there are several fireworks shows still happening in our area tomorrow. The events will happen in Baraboo, Green Lake, Mineral Point, Platteville, and several other locations. Organizers ask you to socially distance. We have a full list of all the times and locations up right now at channel3000.com. So if you're outside in any capacity this weekend, the Department of Emergency Management is emphasizing the importance of paying attention to how you're feeling. It recommends limiting outdoor physical activity because of the heat. Some tips here: wear loose, light-colored clothing, cool off in air conditioning when you can, and most importantly, stay hydrated. Cooling centers will be open across the state too, but you want to check their times and locations because they're changed during the pandemic.
And real quick, you know I'm always saying happy birthday to the kiddos that I know out there. Elliot, happy 17th birthday to you. I hope it is certainly a good one for you. We're dealing with the heat, though. I do want to remind you all we have 2 alert days in the forecast. That is going to be tomorrow and your Sunday, as those heat indices are going to be up around 100, but there are ways to beat the heat. Chris just mentioned some of those with the light-colored and loose-fitting clothing. Also, avoid that alcohol and caffeine when you can. Water is best. Check on the pets. Don't forget to check the back seat as well. Heat indices today will be going all the way up to the upper 90s.
Stay safe out there this weekend, folks. We'll see you back here Monday morning.